Okay guys, so in this training, I'm going to show you how to increase camera confidence and overcome camera shyness. So the first thing that we want to do is realize that we don't necessarily need confidence to get on video. So your audience don't actually care what you feel, and they actually want you to do well on video because they want you to deliver their message and deliver value to them so that you can help them overcome their problems. So when you go into recording a video with the mindset of that you're going to look embarrassed or feel embarrassed or make a show of yourself or mess up or give ums and ahs on camera, that naturally puts you into a negative mindset when it comes to video. So we want to flip that script and realize that our audience wants us to show up on video. They want us to succeed. So when you come from the angle that you are the authority and can provide value to your audience, naturally you're going to get a bit more momentum with your videos. But how do we take that first step? Now, that first step is actually just having a point to your video. Now, you'll hear me talk all the time about getting to the point of your video. No one wants to hear the fluff. So when we have a point to our video and we know what we're going in and talking about in our video, that means that we can start strong within our content. So when you start strong in your content, that naturally will carry your energy through to the end of your video, especially if it's doing short form. And in that situation, it actually doesn't matter if you have natural confidence on camera or natural charisma on camera, because ultimately you're just starting strong and delivering your message to your audience in a clear and concise way. So the first tip is start strong. The second tip is to practice. Now, that might seem like very generic advice, but actually just practicing what you're saying in your content. So whether that be just speaking in front of a camera, whether that's just putting your phone on record, not actually posting and just speaking into the camera, just saying what you've got to say and just practicing, actually it will make you a better speaker. A really good practice exercise for this is just practicing out loud for 60 seconds. So it doesn't matter what you're talking about, doesn't matter what the subject matter is, literally just get your voice out there on camera and just start speaking. And this is called word association. So it could be literally something like, I seen a rabbit reminds me of a horse reminds me of a cliff reminds me of a Hollywood reminds me of actors remind me of films remind me of Netflix reminds me of lounging on the couch reminds me of being lazy, not going to the gyms scare me because I haven't got the confidence to go to a gym, but I really need to get in shape. I'm thinking about my weight. And you can see how naturally that word association just keeps going and going and going. And that's a really good way to just practice speaking without the ums and ahs and without the different tonalities within your voice, if that makes sense. So just practice out loud for 60 seconds is a really good way to do it. So now the third thing I'm going to go through here is actually how to build your charisma on camera. Now there's three components to this. The first being varying your movements and using hand gestures and all that different stuff. So by using gestures like a strong fist to make a point or pointing at something and an animation coming on screen, it actually emphasizes your point and makes your video stand out more. The second part of that is actually just varying your voice. So you could be speaking quite mellow and quite laid back, and then you could be right in your face and quite out loud, emphasizing when you're making a point. And that's a really good way to actually just build your natural charisma on camera. And the third is facial expressions. Now, facial expressions, obviously, if you make a funny face or whatever, you can emphasize different points and get different moods across in your videos, which can be a great way to build charisma and ultimately build your confidence on camera. But the last thing I want to go through there is a challenge and a task that I want you to do to help overcome camera shyness and just turn up on video more regularly. So as I said before, practice makes perfect when it comes to speaking on camera. I am by no means a natural at this. You might feel like I sound shit on camera. You might feel like I sound good on camera. I don't know. That's up to you to decide. But back in the day, I felt like I was terrible on camera. But what I realized was it's a skill set that can be absolutely improved. So here's the task. When you wake up in the morning, before you go to work, you might make a coffee, you might have a can of Monster, have your breakfast, bowl of cereal, whatever it is. I want you to just sit down, lean your camera on a cup of tea or lean your camera in a tripod, whatever it is. I want you to put the front facing camera on and I want you to speak into the camera for as long as you possibly can. Once your chain of speaking is broken, just stop. Once you've stopped, stop for the day, go back the next day, do the same thing and try and build the duration of what you're actually doing. And once you've taught them step-by-step actions to build the duration of what you're actually saying, you can then start to build in vocal tonality, you can start to build in hand gestures, you can start to build in facial expressions, and ultimately build your charisma on camera. So just recapping that, I want you to set up the front-facing camera, press play, and just start speaking about a certain topic. That might be what you've got to plan for the day, what content you want to produce, how you're going to help clients, and literally just keep talking and talking and talking until the chain of conversation is broken. Once it's broken, stop there and try and improve on that the next day, and do that every single morning until you're fully confident on camera. I would actually love to know your feedback on this. So if you want to leave me a message or DM me on Instagram and tell me how you found it, I'd love to know your feedback on this and what ultimately helped you get on camera. So as I said, you can build charisma through hand gestures, facial expressions, vocal tonality. You can also practice. There's no substitute for practice. And ultimately, starting strong in your videos will carry you through right through the duration of the video, whether that be long or short form content. So hope that's helped. Speak soon.